All right, let's get it. Welcome to the humbling Enantiodromia, a new vocabulary word for you to enlarge your membrane. Thanks to Chuck, we have come to a new understanding, and it is time to break it down. How should I start this show? Should I cut right in with the clip? Or should I break the definition down? Let's not get to the definition just yet. I'm going to need you to have the ability of comparative analyzation to understand the situation. So, we will begin with the Enantiodromia effect.
Hello, Steven, my boy.
Yeah. Hello, my ass. Who this nigga up on that name?
Steven, you have nails for breakfast. What's the matter? Why you so ornery? You miss me, huh?
Oh, yes, sir. I miss you like a hog miss slop, like a baby. Miss Mammy Titty. I miss you like I misses a rock in my shoe. I asked you, who this nigga on that name?
It's Snowball. Don't know my name or the name of my horse? You ask me.
That's who the hell you calling Snowball, horse boy? I'll snatch your black ass off that man down here in the mud so fast, make your head.
Steven. Let's keep it funny. Django here is a Freeman.
This nigga here?
That nigga there. Let me at least introduce the two of you. Django, this is another cheeky black bugger like yourself, Steven. Steven, this here's Django. You two ought to hate each other.
Calvin, just who the hell is this nigga you feels the need to entertain?
Django and his friend in gray here, Dr. Schultz, are customers. And they are our guests, Steven. And you old decrepit bastard ought to show them every hospitality. You understand that?
Yes, sir. Him, I understand, but I don't know why I got to take lip off this nigga.
No, I have to know why. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. I understand.
Oh, good. Let's spend the night. Go up in the guest bedroom to get too ready.
He gonna stay in the big house?
Steve, he's a slaver. It's different.
In the big house?
Well, you got a problem with that?
Oh, no, I ain't got no problem with it. If you ain't got no problem with burning the bed, the sheets, the pillowcase, everything else when this black ass motherfucker.
That is my problem. They are mine to burn. Now, your problem right now is making a good impression. And I want you to start solving that problem right now and get them goddamn rooms ready.
Yes, sir, Mr.
Go on now.
Can't believe you brought a nigga to stay in the big house. Your daddy rolling over in this goddamn grave right now.
Yeah.
Nigga in the skate works some more shit.
What do we have here? In the movie The Django, Jamie Foxx plays a slave, a free man riding on a nag. While on the other hand, we have the classical coon. The black man that would like to stay on the slave plantation all his life. This is the predisposition of the Enantiodromia. Now, so that you can catch up, so that you could be well informed, let's break down exactly what that is. Because we're going to get deeper into complexities of the Enantiodromia. It's going to be difficult for you at first. But I believe, but I truly believe you will get it. Let's see here. Where do we have? Search results. Let me just find my clip. Let me make sure. Here we go. This shall be it. All right. This is the Oxford English Dictionary of a real word that you have just come to know. My channel is based on this word. When I speak, I'm misunderstood by the less informed. But as time goes by, as they slowly get it, a perplexity happens in their mind. And they start to have a spiritual warfare with themselves as they fight against what they know and what they accepted against the information I am presenting. And when that light bulb goes off in your head and you finally understand the complexities of what I present, the Enantiodromia occurs. And this is what happens when it occurs. The Enantiodromia is the tendency of things to change into their opposite, especially as a supposed governing principle of natural cycles and of psychological development. Now, what does that mean in more simpler terms? The tendency of things to change into their opposite is to completely reform your perspective. This is governed by the principle of natural cycles, meaning that things that occur in life that you observe, they change your mindset and you become wiser than you were. And in the process of that change, this fundamental practice is identified as an Enantiodromia effect. This is what happens when you go from the slave mentality to a free man. You transfer through a process called the Enantiodromia. I'm going to repeat this a few times during this lecture, because in this lecture, the light bulb will eventually go off. So I gave this Django clip as the predisposition of the slave mentality, eloquently represented in the clip by the black man whose mind can't comprehend a black man on a horse, which he identifies as a nag. It's impossible for him to understand how a black man could be free and do as he will. And when you set free, you're no longer supported by the slave master. No, you're treated as a guest, as an equal, as free. Now, I'm going to superimpose this ideology into the present moment with another clip. We're going to listen to Jesse Lee Patterson and the guest that he has on the show. It's a little short clip. We're going to break it down. And we're going to watch who's the coon and who's the free man. At first, you're going to say to yourself, Jesse Lee is the goddamn coon. He over there fighting for the white man. You're going to feel like the guest feels. You're going to feel like he's the slave in Candyland. But as we get through the show and we start to break down the Enantiodromia, your mind is going to flip. And you're going to realize I was the slave, trapped in my ideology, pre-programmed by communist, socialist, Marxists. They get you every time. They get you every time. I hope you're prepared for this lesson because I've been waiting a long time to do this particular show. I didn't quite know how I wanted to present it. There was 100 ways to present it, and I chose this way. Now, let's get into the interview between Jesse Lee Peps and a man that goes by Delay. And let's break it down.
Speaking of black people, I'm glad you brought it up. I thought you would never ask. Have you noticed that most, not all, but most black people believe in socialism?
Who told you that?
Look, I know black people. I'm black. I know black people.
Now, right off the bat, he's already confused. Delay, the brother Delay, doesn't believe that most black people believe in socialism because he really doesn't understand what socialism is. But the conservative Jesse Lee, he knows exactly what socialism is. He knows exactly what Marxism is. Now understand something. When you're a slave on a plantation, you are programmed to believe that the master provides you a job, that the master provides you health care, that the master provides you food, shelter, and all your essential needs. And in return for your committed slavery to his plantation, to the wealth of the master. But soon you'll have ideas that Django had, and that was to be free of the master's house, to be free of the master's food, to be free of the master's health care, so that you may provide these things for yourself, to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and do for self, to create your own way, independent. This is going to be an amazing transformation.
You black,
Right.
but just on the outside. You are
No, I'm white on the inside.
You are definitely an 85-year-old Caucasian man with a credit score of 690.
That's right.
Yeah.
So let me ask, did you notice that black people believe, most, not all, believe in socialism?
Who told you that though, Mr. Pizza? Where'd you get these numbers from?
Affirmative action? It's
That's socialism?
Yes.
Now, it's not going to quite dawn on him because he has been programmed in school that black people need affirmative action. We need to be hired based on the color of our skin. We are being mistreated. Now we're going back to a time of Jim Crow where Jesse Lee actually grew up. He still has memories of Jim Crow. He doesn't have history book memories. He doesn't have movie memories. He has actual experience memories. And the brother being interviewed does not.
Now they want more
That's
reparation.
socialism.
Listen, now they want more reparation. We've given them everything they've asked for.
Who is we?
We the American people.
No, you just stood on the side of white people just there saying we.
We have. They wanted, remember when they were begging for civil rights? Remember that?
What's wrong with you?
And then we gave them civil rights, right? And then they wanted to integrate the schools. Remember that?
You are amazing.
Thank you.
You really
But listen
are.
to me. You remember when they wanted to integrate the school?
This guy is amazing.
Amazing.
The stuff that comes out of his
Because of time, follow me here. Remember when they wanted to integrate the schools?
right.
They're like, oh, we want the white schools. Our schools are no good. They want to go to the white schools.
That
We
wasn't.
gave them that.
No, they just wanted equal.
And then,
They
and
just
then,
wanted equality. That's all. That's all.
and
If
then,
somebody's sitting next to you and they're drinking out of a cold water fountain, and you have a crappy water fountain right here, and you supposed to be the same as this person right here, but they have the ability to do something that you can't do. Isn't that unequal? That's
breaking news. I grew up on a plantation in Alabama. You know about that?
you should know better, Mr. Peterson.
Under the
I
Jim
know.
Crow law, and
Jim Crow. Remember Jim Crow?
Right. I was under Jim
That
Crow.
didn't affect you?
No. And then I remember for blacks only drinking fountains and white only.
This guy is amazing.
Amazing. So let's just move on. You remember when remember
This guy, you grew up on a plantation and you still have this mentality?
yes. It's called free mentality.
That's called master. That's what this called. It's called
When my master said he sit, I said, yes, master, we sit. So anyway,
you know who you are.
let me
You seen Django?
Stephen Fetty,
What was the guy's name in the house?
Mr. Cool.
He wasn't Mr. Coon, but that's good too.
Right.
What was his name? I forgot. When Jamie Foxx came up on the horse, he was like, "Is that a nigga on a nag?" You are that guy.
But let's do
You're
this.
Uncle Ruckus. That's who you.
Now, we got him pinpointed. Right now, he believes in affirmative action, socialism, welfare. He's Democrat. He going for Biden. He hate Trump. He can't stand Candace Owens. Angela Stanton is a bum. And goddamn, he wouldn't even want to face off with pit bulls. This is where he's at. What Jesse Lee is saying to him is just explosions in his head. His Enantiodromia is playing tricks with him right about now. It's difficult for him to form a defense. He's trying to work his way through it. He's saying, look here, the white man prepared 2 water fountains. The white man prepared them. One water fountain he made all shabby and rusty. The other, porcelain and crystal clean. And the white man said, I created these 2 water fountains, and I shall choose who drinks from which. To which the slave will drink from the rusty water fountain, and the white man will drink from the crystal clean porcelain fountain. Well, both water fountains are owned by the white man, because the white man has done for himself, by whatever means. By enslavement, by taking it, gangsterism, hard work, however he acquired them, they are his. He is the master of his water fountains. And instead of the black man saying to himself, well, those water fountains belong to the white man, I shall go dig my own well and create my own water fountain made of gold and diamonds. And I shall not even provide a water fountain for the white man. He shall drink from his hands. Instead of doing that, he complains about what the white man has offered him.
You are from the Boondocks.
Uncle Ruckus.
Yeah.
But I have the Coon Award. I won the Coon Award like 2 or 3 times already. I beat out
Hey,
Clarence.
come get this nigga, man. He's bragging about the cool. Hey, NAACP, come get this nigga.
This slave is calling for the NAACP, the Socialist Marxist Jewish Organization for Black people, for the non-advancement of Black people. He doesn't even know he's a slave. Harriet Tubman told me she could free you, nigga, if you only knew you was a slave. He has no idea that he's a victim. He has no idea. He believes in all the classical slave mentality. He wants to stay on the plantation. He thinks Jesse Lee is the coon. But the Enantiodromia would disagree. The coon is him. It hasn't sparked in his mind that you would do better for yourself than the white man can do for you. So what happened? The socialist Marxists of the 60s marched. They wanted integrated schools. Now they got them. And the pro-black of today, they don't want integrated schools anymore. Now they want pro-black schools. Well, you had that. And you was a Marxist then, and you're a Marxist now. But now, you want to go back to Jim Crow. You don't like what you got. You want to provide. You want to teach your own children. Well, you had that. But you allowed your failed leadership to trick you, to make you think that integrated schools were superior. Oh, I know your argument, that your schools was inferior, that you had used books and used pencils, and you didn't have adequate air conditioning, adequate facilities, and you wanted equality. Well, you really didn't want to be integrated. What you really wanted was to write your own books, create your own pencils, do for yourself what you want for yourself. It is quite simple. But this is the complexity of the conscious community today. They suffer through the paradigm of the Enantiodromia. They're having a difficulty with themselves. They're having a spiritual warfare in their minds. They lack the understanding of what a Marxist socialist is. They do not understand the meaning of do for self versus the meaning of state-controlled socialist programs. They don't know what that means. They don't know what it looks like until they get it. And when they get it, they don't want what you ask for. Be careful of what you ask for you just might get it.
Nigga, man.
I beat out Clarence Thomas.
Oh, yeah. You earned it. I'm going to give it to you.
I beat out Sheriff
Clark.
Clark.
And
that's my good friend. I beat him
That's
out.
your good friend?
Not good friend, but my
yes,
friend.
He is.
I beat him out. Isn't that amazing?
What would you and Mr. Clark talk about in a one-on-one conversation? What are y'all talking about? You probably say nigga 19,000 times in a 30-minute conversation with your Clark. I hate them niggas.
Maybe I don't, but anyway, let's move forward.
Yes, let's move forward.
Do you notice that most black people believe in social? So we gave them the schools, right?
Who is we, Mr. Peterson?
American people. We.
No, but we.
Right.
What side are you on? Like
On the right side.
right.
Right.
So when they were opposing black people for all these things, that was the side that was the right side?
Yes.
What did your black skin ever do?
So I'm not done with this.
Let's take a moment to dissect that. Did they ask, when they were opposing black people of integration, of drinking from the same fountain, eating in the same restaurants, what was the only option black people had? Well, you actually had two options. You can continue to beg, or you could do it for yourself. You think Black Wall Street was designed by begging? You often hear these pro-blacks scream about Black Wall Street as though you have the mindset of the conservative movement of Black Wall Street. You are actually opposite the mindset that built Black Wall Street. You are nothing like them. Black Wall Street was not developed by radicals. It was not developed by socialists. It had no connection to Marxists. It had no communist leadership. Black Wall Street was developed by Republicans with a conservative view of black nationalism to become what they desire, not to beg for what they desire. Slavery was socialism in its ideology for blacks. Freedom was conservatism in its ideology for blacks. Oh, what an evil web we weave when white folks conspire to deceive.
Yeah. So we gave them the schools, right?
You are really amazing. Go ahead, sir.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Then we gave them the schools. And then they said, well, we want to go and live in their community. We don't like our black community. We want to live with the white people. And so we said, okay, y'all go live with the white people. That's fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
we said.
And then they wanted to go into the.
How do the white people that work for you feel? Do they look at you like?
And then
I'm gonna tell you what I think they think.
I know. In a minute, you can tell me.
Yeah.
And then the blacks said, well, we want to go into the white businesses. We don't want our own business. We want.
Who said that?
Black people.
Black people wanted white businesses. We didn't want our own businesses.
Right. And so we said, okay, we'll give you your own businesses. I mean, we'll let you eat at the white counter. All right. And then they said, well,
you can't mean this. There's no way you really mean this.
But I want you to tell me where I'm wrong in a minute. And then they said, we want affirmative action. Mm-hmm. We don't want to have to work hard. We don't want to have to earn our way.
It wasn't that.
We don't want to have to get into a white school. We don't have to.
You know why they implemented the
affirmative action? Let us in because we black.
No,
and the white man said, okay, y'all come on in. Y'all black. You don't have to earn it. But before that, they had their own black universities. They were earning their way, right? But not, then they said, no.
That's a fact. Before the 60s, black people had educations. Black people had skill sets. Black people had black towns. They had everything that pro-blacks scream for today. They had them all over the country. But this wasn't good enough. This wasn't good enough. They wanted what the white man had to offer.
Oh, no, we're tired of working, master. We want it free.
It just hit me.
We want to earn away. And so the white people said, okay.
You see what he said? It just hit me. It didn't hit him yet. He's still confused. He's still the coon. This is why they struggle to understand where I'm coming from. It's difficult. That Enantiodromia is a heavy weight.
Okay, come on into the schools. And then they said, we want reparations. And they're like, we just gave you everything you want. What do you
gave-
want? They said, we want food stamps, we want free everything, free
Black
housing.
people ask for food stamps.
And then the white man said, okay, we'll do it, but you can't have a man in the home. And they said, okay, we'd rather have the free stuff than to have the man in the home. And last but not least, you know what else they wanted? We want the white woman, they said. You don't want us to have your white woman. We want the white woman. And white people say, okay, you can even have the white woman. And they still begging. Yeah. What do you say about that?
It's okay if I speak?
Yeah.
A couple of things. Mr. Peterson, are you married?
No.
You're not married. No. Were you ever married?
No, just live with them, but not married to them. I used to be a
you had
sinner.
a baby out of wedlock.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Peterson. So you are pretty much this thing that you're trafficking about dads and having the kids. You are part of this.
I did. I made a
Okay.
mistake. I was wrong. No,
wrong.
not a mistake. I was wrong.
Unlike your
And
president,
I
you can
said
admit it.
I
So I
would
appreciate
never
that.
do it again. And I never did it again.
That's good. Now, let me just say this, Mr. Peterson. And I've been talking to you for what, 15, 30 minutes now?
Yeah.
And I've learned something in this little time here.
What?
I feel like with this interview and listening to you, I feel like I'm trapped in a vortex of stupidity.
Boom. See? That's the spiritual warfare. What Mr. Peterson is saying is so heavy on his brain that he's trapped in a vortex of stupidity. Everything that's going to come out his mouth from this point is not going to make any sense. He's not going to understand what the stupidity is. He's stuck in his Enantiodromia as it pounds and pounds its way through his mind, trying to bring him back to his rightful position as a man. Right now, he's a slave. He's a slave to the Democrat plantation. He's a slave to socialism. He's a slave to Marxism. He is a slave.
And I'm learning that as I dialogue with you more, there is no learning curve with you.
And so now you're coming out of your stupidity? You're waking up and coming out. Are you saying that?
No. I'm locked into it as I listen to you.
And so now you're waking up from it?
No. I'm just listening to it. I can
You see, he can't wake up yet. He's locked into it. One day, long time away from this interview, he's gonna wake up. It's gonna feel like a bat just smacked him in the head. He's gonna call Peterson up and say, man, I finally understand what you were saying to me. This is going to bother him for years. This is what you call the Enantiodromia. Let me read that for you again. The tendency of things to change into their opposite. When things go from what they are until its exact opposite, when your mind completely transforms thought, you have experienced the Enantiodromia, especially as supposed governing principles of natural cycles and of psychological developments. When your mind is developed enough to come out of your stupidity, being a slave. When you hear Harriet Tubman in your ear saying, I could save you if you only knew you was a slave. She can't save you if you think you're not in slavery. She's a conductor on the Underground Railroad, taking slaves from the plantation to freedom. If you are already feeling as though you're not a slave, you can't get on the train. And you can't experience the Enantiodromia.
Always exit. I'm just listening to it. But no matter what I say to you, you are, but I don't believe you really believe this stuff, Mr.
No, I
Rogers.
know for a fact. Have you seen the blacks begging and blaming and wanting reparation and all that kind of affirmative action? Would you want to work your way up or would you want it free?
I have worked my way up, Mr.
Is that the right way to do it?
However,
Is that the right way to do it?
people do need help.
But
People need help.
when
And
will
if
they-
those
Now, see. He's the slave in the White House, working with the master, eating good food, wearing new clothes. He's the slave that said, I worked my way up. He is that exact dude. The coon in the movie Django. He was wearing fresh clothes. He had worked his way up to second hand to the master. He's certainly not that nigga on that nag. He's certainly not that nigga on that nag.
are in
when
position
is
to help,
enough help
they should
enough?
help.
When is enough enough?
When is enough
We've
enough?
given to them for the last 70 years now.
Who is this we that you keep referring to,
We
Mr.
the
Beast?
American people.
Man, this is just too deep. I mean, you're going to have to replay this show again. You're going to have to understand it. This one here.
Hello, Stephen, my boy.
Yeah. Hello, my ass. Who this nigga up on that name?
Stephen, you have nails for breakfast. What's the matter? Why you so ornery? You miss me, huh?
Oh, yes, sir. I miss you like a hog miss flop, like a baby. Miss Mammy Titty. I miss you like I misses a rock in my shoe. But I ask you, who this nigga on that nag?
Is certainly not the pro-black. He wouldn't be on that name. He wants to remain on the plantation. The black conservatives, Candace Owens says, exit, Blexit, the Democrat plantation, and niggas cry. Niggas cry, they call her a coon because she don't want a handout, because she don't want food stamps, Section 8, reparations. You ain't never been in slavery, but you want reparations for slavery. The black people who came out of slavery wasn't begging for reparations. They was building cities, Black Wall Streets. Ask yourself, have you experienced your Enantiodromia?
Hey, Snowball. You wanna know my name or the name of my horse? You ask me.
That's who the hell you calling Snowball, horse boy? I'll snatch your black ass off that nag down here in the mud so fast.
Stephen. Let's keep it funny. Django here is a Freeman.
This nigga here?
That nigga there. Let me at least introduce the two of you. Django, this is another cheeky black bugger like yourself, Stephen. Stephen, this here is Django. You two ought to hate each other.
Calvin, just who the hell is this nigga you feels the need to entertain?
Django and his friend in gray here, Dr. Schultz, are customers. And they are our guests, Stephen. And you old decrepit bastard ought to show them every hospitality. You understand that?
Yes, sir. Him, I understand, but I don't know why I got to take lip off this
You
nigga.
don't have to know why. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. I understand.
Well, good. Let's spend the night. Go up in the guest bedroom and get too ready.
He gonna stay in the big house?
Stephen, he's a slaver. It's different.
In the big house?
Well, you got a problem with that?
Oh, no, I ain't got no problem with it. If you ain't got no problem with burning the bed, the sheets, the pillowcase, everything else when this black ass
Now,
motherfucker
that is my problem. They are mine to burn. Now, your problem right now is making a good impression. And I want you to start solving that problem right now and get them goddamn rooms ready.
Yes, sir, Mr.
Go on now.
Can't believe you brought a nigga to stay in the big house. Your daddy rolling over in this goddamn grave right now.
Brought a nigga to stay in the big house. What type of nigga did he bring? Did he bring a Candace Owens? Or did he bring a Cornell West? Who's free? The nigga begging or the nigga doing for himself? Who free? The nigga on welfare or the nigga cashing checks? Who's free? The nigga staying in Section 8 or the nigga buying the house? Who is free? This is your boy, Digital Pit Boss. This is your wake-up call. This is your Enantiodromia.